All right, next game on the list, Mike. Tennessee. Who you got?
Well, Chiefs noted this last year, and he kind of notes it again this year. Tennessee's one season away, which me and him both agree next year will be Tennessee's year, we do believe, from being a really good team in the SEC. I have to guess Alabama though this year because they're still that one season away. I just don't think they can do it this year, but watch out for Tennessee next year.
Juicy?
And I'm going to go with Alabama as well. And like Mike said, granted, they are about one season away. They've had about 3 top 5 recruiting classes the last 3 years with Tennessee. And they're doing a mighty fine job over there. And I think Tennessee will finish second. But nonetheless, I still think that Alabama's going to be too much for them this year. So watch out next year.
Alabama's playing at home this year, so I think they will. This one can potentially be an upset pick. This is not crazy to think that Tennessee can upset Alabama. I mean, it's very possible it could possibly happen, but I don't think it will happen this year. I think it's going to be like at least until another year. I think Tennessee, they will go to a bowl game this year, but I don't think it's going to be enough for them to actually do anything with it. But yeah, we got them, Alabama winning against Tennessee. So me and Mike got.
I agree with you.
What do you want to say, Juicy?
I agree with you, Chief. Now Tennessee, I wouldn't be surprised if Tennessee would pull off the upset because they do have the potential. But I'm gonna stick with Alabama, like you said.
So we all got Alabama 7-1 right now.
No, except Juice.
Except Juice, yeah, 6-2. All right. Now this one is probably the highlight of Alabama's season. Alabama versus LSU at home in Tuscaloosa. Mike Honcho, who you got in that game?
You may think this may be the highlight, and to a lot of people, fans of LSU and Baton Rouge, it is. But I don't think it's the biggest game on Alabama's schedule this year. LSU will be a very good team. They do have Leonard Fournette in the backfield. Quarterback that's still a little shaky on it. Don't know yet who's the quarterback. A lot of people say Brandon Harris, but we don't know yet until the first game of the season. LSU hasn't proven enough to me. I got to go to Alabama just because of the head coach. Nick Saban, I find, is a much better coach than that Smiles is. So I do believe that Nick Saban will have a team ready for it. So I got to go to Alabama.
Juicy?
I'm going to go ahead and go with LSU here. And a lot of people might think it's kind of crazy, but to me it's going to be another upset. Because LSU, yeah, they got Leonard Fournette, and the quarterback's kind of shaky, but I think and get LSU the victory because LSU is on a 4-game skid, I think, against Alabama right now. But I think they'll finally find a way and pull up the upset.
I disagree with you, Juicy, there. I think Alabama will beat LSU. LSU is a one-dimensional offense right now. They just got Leonard Fournette in the backfield, and what else they got? If Anthony Jennings or Brandon Harris, one of them has to come up. Like I said in the LSU preview, LSU could be a college football contender, or they can have a 7-5 year. I got to see LSU play before I even make a decision really like this, but I think Alabama will beat LSU, and I think they'll continue their winning streak during the season. So, Juicy's got Alabama 7-2. Am I correct, Juicy?
I think 3 now. I think they're going to lose to Arkansas.
Yeah.
Arkansas. And
Ole Miss. That's 6-3.
Yeah, 3.
6-3, and me and Mike got them 8-1. Mike?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Mike, Alabama versus at Mississippi State.
Now, see, this is the game that I'm going to find be more interesting because Dak Prescott at quarterback at Mississippi State, he's phenomenal. He's one of the best quarterbacks I've seen at Mississippi State in a long time. I want to see how good he does against this year's Alabama team. I think it's going to be a real, real close game. So I'll give Mississippi State the win by a touchdown.
Okay, Juicy.
I'm going to go ahead and go with Alabama on this one. Because Mississippi State did well like last year, but they kind of started to fall off towards the end of the season. So and they didn't quite live up to their hype at the end of the year. So I'm going to go ahead and go with Alabama on this one because I don't think that Mississippi State's going to be quite as good as they were a year ago.
This looks like it's going to be pretty interesting to see. I mean, Mississippi State did lose a lot of people this season, so I mean they're going to be in, I think, trouble. Defense, only 3 starters return on Mississippi State's defense, and that's going to hurt Mississippi State a lot in this game, and I don't think it'll be enough for them to beat Alabama. But give me Crimson Tide. All right, now that we keep moving on here, Alabama versus Charleston Southern. Mike?
Well, I think it's kind of obvious what I'm going Alabama on this one, Charleston Southern. Really don't hear much about them, and it's a good reason because they're not the best teams in Division II, so I'm going to do it Alabama.
Juicy?
All I have to say is that is Roll Tide.
Roll Tide?
That's all I'm going with.
I think Alabama will beat Charleston Southern. I don't think there'll be much Charleston Southern can do here. This is probably like a practice before they're actually. Now that we think about it, I think this could be the biggest game of the year. I got Alabama winning as well. Agreeing with y'all there. So I'm 10-1. Mike's 9-2, and Juicy is 8-3. Okay, we all kind of got a little bit going here. The Iron Bowl at Auburn. Mike, who you got?
Well, see, this is a game that everybody loves to watch, no matter if you're an Alabama fan, an Auburn fan, an LSU fan, a Texas fan, a USC fan, no matter what you love it. Basically, you love to watch this game. It is always interesting. I gotta go to Alabama in this one. I don't think Auburn has enough to pull off the upset this year. Auburn's team is really gonna be lacking in talent this year, so you gotta give me Alabama.
Juicy?
I'm gonna go with Alabama. I just know that Alabama's gonna be a little bit too much for Auburn, and I know that Auburn and they lost a good bit of talent, like Mike said. They got a few holes to fill in. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to Alabama.
I think Alabama will win this game. I don't think it's gonna be enough for them to actually pull it off. Auburn, it's going to be a competitive game because of the rivalry game. There's so much passion going into this game here on both sides. It'll be very interesting to see who wins this game, but I think Alabama will defeat the Auburn Tigers. I'm 9-2. 9-3, my bad. Yep, that's the schedule, guys. Any closing thoughts, Mike?
I think Alabama's going. I think Alabama might make the playoffs this year. It's their non-conference schedule that would worry me. Even though they're playing the SEC is definitely not as dominant as it used to be, but they are still the top conference. But it's just their non-conference schedule is what really scares me. The toughest game being against a Wisconsin team that's not really all that powerful this year. It's really not saying all that much. I do think Alabama will make the playoffs this year. I just don't think they'll really make it that far. I really do think if they end up facing like an Ohio State or some other team, I really just think they'll get eliminated in the first round.
Juicy?
I have to agree with Mike. The non-conference schedule is a little bit shaky, kind of scary, and I'll disagree with him on the part they make the playoffs. I don't think they will make the playoffs. I think they'll come up just short. And I don't really see them winning the West either. I think it'll be Arkansas that has the best chance to win the West this year myself. So I don't see them making, but I do see them making a decent bowl game though.
I think this will be a very interesting year for Alabama. This could be the turning of the tide in a lot of things. Yeah, the punt is obviously there, but I think Alabama they will have a pretty successful year. I think they probably will make the playoffs depending on how the committee evaluates their schedule here. I mean, it's kind of easy non-conference schedule, like Mike has alluded to, and I just think it'll be kind of tough for them to get enough votes for them to actually get into the playoffs. So it'll be interesting, but I think if you got a one-loss SEC team, I think the committee will put them in because they got to play the conference championship game. Now, if there's a conference championship game and Mike, you think Georgia's going to win it, I think Georgia's going to win it. If they had a rematch, who do you think wins the SEC championship?
If they had a rematch?
Yeah, with Georgia.
I have to stay with Alabama. Unless Georgia proves something to me halfway through the season, like, oh, Georgia's this really great team, I have to stick with Alabama.
Juicy?
I have to go with Georgia if they have a rematch, because especially if Georgia loses the first time, I think Georgia will go in there and want their revenge, and they'll be fired up and ready to take it back. But however, if Georgia wins somehow at the first time, I think they'll still win the second time, and that's the championship game myself.
Alright, we'll see how all this goes. I think Alabama will probably end up beating Georgia because Georgia never really can settle the score. They can't really seal the deal. That's kind of been a knock on Mark Richt as a coach. He hasn't been able to finish off games and win championships like he should at Georgia. I mean, it's kind of been a knock throughout his whole career over there. But we'll see what happens. You can like us on Facebook, The Fishbowl Radio, and you can follow us on Twitter at Fishbowl Nation. Mike, can you give your Instagram handle and Twitter handle?
My first Instagram is the_May_Honcho14. Twitter is ABHidalgo14.
Alright, Juicy?
My Instagram handle is G_Bird_Juicy.
And your Twitter?
And no Twitter handle for me, though.
No Twitter handle?
No, sir.
No, sir. You have to get on Twitter, Juicy. Interact with the people a little bit.
I have to be more involved.
Oh, okay. My Instagram name is Chief Fishbowl. You can follow me on there. I don't do the underscores because I'm cooler than Mike and Juicy. So, you know. And Twitter at Logan Fusilier. You can follow me there on Twitter. Alright, that'll be all for the show today, guys. Hope y'all like it, and we'll hope y'all have a great and wonderful weekend. And we'll see y'all next week. And until then, keep spreading the word about the Fishbowl Nation, everybody. We love y'all. We hope y'all have a great and wonderful day. Any last remarks, guys?
Go check out the website.
Go check out the website, definitely. We'll add Juicy to our page on the website that we have. I think we'll make a staff page. It'd be kind of cool. Do like a little bio of people. Hey, Juicy. Any last words?
I just want to say y'all have a great day, great weekend, and God bless, and listen to Fishbowl Radio.
Alright, talk to y'all later, Fishbowl Nation.